president, I intend to work with you to write the next chapter in the story of American innovation.
If you care about the internet, well, Barack's the guy for you.
He understands the importance of a national broadband strategy, and he knows that that strategy has to include every American.
That's here on the Fox News Channel, the network America trusts for fair and balanced news.
Barack Obama in a bathing suit.
The reason that he's considered such a big deal is simply because he's black.
He is a black candidate surrounding himself with a lot of white advisors.
Neither one of us can point to one thing Barack Obama has done for African Americans.
Well, first of all,
nothing.
President Obama is spending your tax dollars to create jobs. How's he doing? You've heard of Solyndra. They took $535 million in taxpayer loan guarantees and went bankrupt. But that's not even half the story. Obama's Department of Energy has handed out billions of dollars in loans and grants. First solar, $3 billion in taxpayer-backed loan guarantees. Now they're cutting jobs, and their stock is near all-time lows. Ecotality received $126 million in taxpayer money, lost $45 million, and currently under investigation. SunPower, more than $1 billion in loan guarantees, lost $500 million last year, laying off workers. More than $16 billion have gone to companies like Solyndra that are linked to big Obama and Democrat donors. The Inspector General said contracts were steered to friends and family. Obama is giving taxpayer money to big donors, and then watching them lose it. Good for them, bad for us.
What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order.
Technology and innovation have reshaped our economy and our lives at breathtaking speed. America's been fighting to figure out how to tap this awesome new resource that we have.
Sustainable development has become the popularized expression for Agenda 21. Agenda 21 is the 1992 United Nations Rio Declaration on the Environment and Development.
It is the agenda for the 21st century you're living in today. For a brave new world where everything that you cherished and held true will no longer exist.
Agenda 21 defines itself as the comprehensive plan of action to be taken globally, nationally, and locally by organizations of the United Nations systems.
It also elevates nature above man. And it contains something called the precautionary principle, where basically you're guilty until you're proven innocent.
August 2nd, 1990, Saddam Hussein's forces crashed through the defenses of oil-rich Kuwait. In fear of an Iraqi invasion into Saudi Arabia, the United States and her coalition allies poured into the Arabian Peninsula to form a deterrent that would be known as Desert Shield. The result was a series of diplomatic talks, negotiations and counter-negotiations that rapidly declined into a no-hope situation. On August the 17th, 1991, Desert Shield became Desert Storm. The conflict was witnessed by millions through the eye of CNN and the BBC, showing propaganda of the systematic eradication of Saddam's forces by a coalition far superior in technological, political, and economic power. However, what was little known was that from the outset the war was engineered, controlled, and manipulated by an elite group. A group which had created the illusion of a man with power, at the head of a million-strong army, on the verge of going nuclear. A man who had gained control over 1/5 of the world's oil overnight. However, in reality, he was merely a pawn, in amongst many pawns, just a puppet in a grand master plan, with the Gulf War as a well-orchestrated stepping stone. The orchestrators of the war were by no means strangers to controlling major world events. In fact, they have done so for centuries. From the shadows, they have engineered every major war, revolution, and recession. They control everything you read, everything you hear, and everything you see. They have managed to indoctrinate an entire populace to their way of thinking, and have infiltrated key positions in places of authority. And it is from the shadows that they have created a new political order, a new economic order, and more sinister, a new religious
Hello,
order.
leaders of Scientology. We are anonymous. Over the years, we have been watching your campaigns of misinformation, your suppression of dissent, your litigious nature. All of these things have caught our eye. With the leakage of your latest propaganda video into mainstream circulation, the extent of your malign influence over those who have come to trust you as leaders has been made clear to us. Anonymous has therefore decided that your organization should be destroyed. For the good of your followers, for the good of mankind, and for our own enjoyment, we shall proceed to expel you from the internet and systematically dismantle the Church of Scientology in its present form. We recognize you as serious opponents, and do not expect our campaign to be completed in a short time frame. However, you will not prevail forever against the angry masses of the body politic. Your choice of methods, your hypocrisy, and the general artlessness of your organization have sounded its death knell. You have nowhere to hide. Because we are everywhere, you will find no recourse in attack. Because for each of us that falls, 10 more will take his place. We are cognizant of the many who may decry our methods as parallel to those of the Church of Scientology. Those who espouse the obvious truth that your organization will use the actions of Anonymous as an example of the persecution of which you have for so long warned your followers. This is acceptable to Anonymous. In fact, it is encouraged. We are your SPs. Over time, as we begin to merge our pulse with that of your church, the suppression of your followers will become increasingly difficult to maintain. Believers will become aware that salvation needn't come at the expense of their livelihood. They will become aware that the stress and the frustration that they feel is not due to us, but a source much closer to them. Yes, we are SPs, but the sum of suppression we could ever muster is eclipsed by that of your own RTC. Knowledge is free. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.
Bombs exploding, government been knowing, DEA, FBI, CIA, threats in the world today, terrorism and cannibalism taking over the streets, and all I can do is listen to these beats. Bombs exploding, government been knowing, DEA, FBI, CIA, threats in the world today, terrorism and cannibalism taking over the streets, and all I can do is listen to these beats. Throw a little heat into the government sheet, should've known it was coming. Now everybody's running this, the USA, and I'm American made, land of the free. some humanity, and the insanity must stop. I don't care if you were a firefighter or a cop. I give my pledge to keep you coming from the edge. I need to let these feelings go. I need to let my feelings grow. I need to let this hate go. And we need to make some love in this world. Let us sit and twirl and let us think about what would happen if we keep collapsing. Bombs exploding, government been nowhere. DEA, FBI, CIA, threats in the world today. Terrorism and cannibalism taking over the streets, and all I can do is listen to these beats. Bombs exploding, government been nowhere. DEA, FBI, CIA, threats in the world today. Terrorism and cannibalism taking over the streets, and all I can do is listen to these beats. And if you little suckers still want a piece of my nation, we can start some new relations, start some gangs, come with our thing. Screw the government if they can't take charge. I'ma come through and let them know I'm like a mirage. The minute you see me and the next minute you don't, and I won't stop shooting until you will no longer pollute my air. I don't care if you come to my country and live free, but if you mess around, I'll put you down to the ground quickly. No, you little suckers trying to come with these MCs, and you little suckers trying to take charge. You better get on the ground and beg, please. Odyssey and the rest of the country, please don't kill me. Bombs exploding, government been nowhere. DEA, FBI, CIA, threats in the world today. Terrorism and cannibalism taking over the streets, and all I can do is listen to these beats. Bombs exploding, government been nowhere. DEA, FBI, CIA, threats in the world today. Terrorism and cannibalism taking over the streets, and all I can do is listen to these beats. Bombs exploding, government been nowhere. DEA, FBI, CIA, threats in the world today. Terrorism and cannibalism taking over the streets, and all I can do is listen to these beats. Bombs exploding, government been nowhere. DEA, FBI, CIA, threats in the world today. Terrorism and cannibalism taking over the streets, and all I can do is listen to these beats.
If you are an environmentalist, this is your cause. If you are a leader, this is your mandate. If you are a parent, this is your responsibility. If you are a student, this is your mission. If you become the victim of nuclear radiation, this is your life. And if you are human, this is your day to save the world. Sign the petition today at theatomproject.org.